Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name's Scott. I'm a practicing physician assistant working in endocrinology. I'm also a type 1 diabetic. If you're interested in diabetes related news, tech talk, product reviews, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be coming out with new content all of the time. Alright, so let's talk about sugar-free foods and the impact that they can have on your blood sugar. So sugar-free foods, they're definitely a little tricky. A lot of people assume that sugar-free means that there's going to be no impact on your blood sugar, but unfortunately that's not the case. And the answer to the actual question of how much sugar-free foods impact your blood sugar, well, it's a little complicated. Even the manufacturers of the sugar-free foods and candies can't give you a straight answer about it, basically saying that it affects blood sugars to varying degrees is what they say. So no straight answer about that. And why is there so much confusion about this? Why don't we know how much a sugar-free food is going to impact our blood sugar? Well, sugar-free foods, instead of using sugar, they use alternatives. Alternatives often like sugar alcohols, and a popular one in many sugar-free foods, including the ones I tested in this video, is something called mannitol. Now, mannitol tastes very much like sugar. It even has carbs like sugar, but what's different is the body doesn't like to digest mannitol the same way that it does with sugar. In fact, a good portion of mannitol and the carbs it contains never actually get broken down and digested by the body, so that's good and bad. It's a good thing because the less mannitol that gets digested, the less it can impact your blood sugar. But it's bad because, well, non-digestible foods eaten in excess can lead to other problems. So how the heck do we know how many carbs we're consuming and how these foods are going to affect our blood sugar when we don't even know how many carbs are going to get digested? Well, that's the hard part, and that's why I wanted to do a little test today. So I took a couple of the popular sugar-free candies, Reese's Cups and Hershey chocolates, and then I bought the regular sugar variety of these candies. I consumed both at different times, and I compared the blood sugar spike seen in the sugar-free variety compared to the regular sugar variety. So let's talk about what I found out. So first I compared the zero sugar Hershey's dark chocolate bars to the regular sugar variety of the dark chocolate bars. I even went ahead and measured the weight of each to make sure I was eating gram for gram the same amount of sugar-free chocolate compared to the regular sugar variety. Now, starting first with the sugar-free dark chocolate bars, my blood sugar at the start before consuming the chocolate, it was 106. 30 minutes after consuming two of the small sugar-free chocolate bars, I was already up to 126, and then 60 minutes after consuming these two, I was up to 133. So the sugar-free dark chocolate bars spiked my blood sugar a total of 27 points, and that's just from two of the small chocolate bars, so it's definitely a decent impact. Now let's compare that to the regular sugar variety. Now I ate the same amount of the regular sugar dark chocolate variety, same amount that I did with the sugar-free. So my blood sugar at the start before consuming any of the chocolate was at 70. 30 minutes after consuming two of the small regular sugar chocolate bars, I shot up to 112, which was a pretty quick spike, and then after 60 minutes I was up to a total of 116. So that was a total of a 46-point spike in my blood sugar from the regular sugar chocolate bars. So we see here with the regular sugar variety, it spiked me a total of 46 points, and the sugar-free variety spiked me 27 points in total. So while the sugar-free chocolate had less of an impact, it still definitely caused a spike in my blood sugar, and calculated out it would be a little over 50% of the impact that the regular sugar variety had. So we can see eating the same exact amount, it was about 50% of the impact for the sugar-free variety. All right, so next I wanted to run the same test but with the sugar-free Reese's Cups. Same idea, I consumed two of the small cups of both the sugar-free and regular sugar variety, same as in the dark chocolate. I made sure to measure the weight, so it was gram for gram, the same amount consumed with each. So let's start with the sugar-free Reese's, and to be honest, the results of this really surprised me. So at the start before consuming the sugar-free Reese's, my blood sugar was 71. 30 minutes after consuming two of the sugar-free Reese's, I was only up to 78, which was a very small impact. And then after 60 minutes, I was only up to 83. So only a spike of 12 points. So while there was definitely an impact on my blood sugar, it was much less compared to the sugar-free dark chocolate. So I was a bit surprised the difference between the two. So it's really variable with the sugar-free chocolate, so I was really surprised here. All right, so let's move on to the regular sugar Reese's to compare the impact of that one. So at the start before consuming the Reese's, my blood sugar was at 103. 30 minutes after consuming two of the regular sugar Reese's, I quickly jumped to 127. And then after 60 minutes, I was up to 140. So that gives us a grand total of a 37-point increase for the regular sugar Reese's. So when we compare the two, the regular sugar Reese's spiked me 37 points, and the sugar-free Reese's only increased my blood sugar by 12 points, meaning in this case, the sugar-free Reese's only had about 30% of the impact on blood sugar of the regular sugar variety. So it definitely still had an impact, but it was much less compared to that of the dark sugar-free chocolate variety. So there's really two takeaways here, really two important things that I learned from doing this little study. So the first thing is that these sugar-free candies, they will have an impact on your blood sugar. Again, remember in this video, I only ate a small amount. I only ate a couple candies of each. So while the blood sugar may not have been significant, it still did spike my blood sugar. And consider if you're eating a lot more, the spike is going to be considerably higher. The second thing to keep in mind is that the impact was variable. In this study, I found it was to be anywhere from 30 to 50% of that of the regular sugar variety, but there definitely was a big difference comparing one sugar-free candy to another. So again, remember, it's hard to predict exactly how this candy is going to impact your blood sugar, but know that it likely will cause a blood sugar spike. So as long as you keep those things in mind, sugar-free candies are definitely a better option for diabetics with less of an impact on your blood sugar. Alright, well I hope that was helpful, and thank you so much as always for watching the video.